by Prophet Dwayne Omar. In a world where scars run deep and shadows lurk in every corner, one woman's journey will redefine the meaning of terror.
Prepare yourself for a mind-bending journey into the unknown. A supernatural thriller that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Introducing The Day After.
Nicole's heart pounded in her chest as she sprinted through the chaotic streets of Matapan Square. The man across the street had fixated his sinister gaze on her, and an overwhelming sense of danger consumed her every thought. Her instincts screamed at her to get home as soon as possible. Amidst the wreckage of several smashed automobiles and overturned vehicles in front of Brothers' Diner, the scene resembled a nightmarish battlefield. The blaring horns, shattered glass and twisted metal added to the disarray, making navigation almost impossible. Nicole's breath grew ragged as she dodged the obstacles in her path. Fear fueled her every step, amplifying her determination to escape the clutches of the man she could only refer to as Nub. She dared not look back, knowing that his presence loomed closer with every passing second. The sound of her pounding footsteps merged with the cacophony of the chaotic scene, creating an eerie symphony of desperation. The flickering streetlights cast long, ominous shadows that seemed to reach out for her, intensifying the sense of impending doom. As Nicole ran, her mind raced, desperately trying to find a solution. She needed to lose Nub, to shake off his sinister pursuit. The twisted wreckage of the vehicles made it difficult to find a clear path, forcing her to take detours through narrow alleyways and side streets. With each turn she took, Nicole stole a quick glance over her shoulder, and her worst fears were confirmed. Nub was relentless, closing the distance between them with an unnerving determination. His cold, calculating eyes never wavered from her, as if he were playing a game of predator and prey. Her heart pounding in her ears, Nicole knew she couldn't outrun him forever. Panic welled up within her, threatening to paralyze her every move, but she refused to succumb to fear. She had to find a way to outsmart him, to escape this nightmare. As she sprinted down an alley, she spotted an open fire escape on the side of a nearby building. Without hesitation, she veered off course, leaping onto the metal rungs and pulling herself up with trembling arms. The climb was treacherous, her hands slipping on the rusted bars, but the adrenaline coursing through her veins pushed her forward. Reaching the rooftop, Nicole paused to catch her breath, her chest heaving. She cautiously peered over the edge, expecting to see Nub still hot on her trail. To her relief, he was nowhere in sight. The darkness swallowed him whole, leaving her with a temporary reprieve. Taking a moment to collect herself, Nicole realized she couldn't stay on the rooftop indefinitely. She needed to find a safer route home, away from the prying eyes of her pursuer. With a renewed determination, she carefully navigated the rooftops, using them as her secret pathway through the city. As she moved stealthily from one building to another, Nicole couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. The shadows seemed to dance and whisper around her, heightening her senses. She pushed through the fear, knowing that her only chance at survival lay in staying one step ahead of Nub. With every leap and calculated step, Nicole ventured deeper into the maze of rooftops, her eyes scanning the streets below for any sign of danger. The city skyline provided a haunting backdrop to her perilous journey, its silhouette a constant reminder of the darkness that had engulfed her world. As the night wore on, Nicole's fatigue grew, but she refused to give in to exhaustion. She knew that she had to keep going, to find a way to escape the clutches of Nub and make it back home. The pursuit in chaos had only just begun. With every leap and calculated step, Nicole ventured deeper into the maze of rooftops, her eyes scanning the streets below for any sign of danger. The city skyline provided a haunting backdrop to her perilous journey, its silhouette a constant reminder of the darkness that had engulfed her world. As the night wore on, Nicole's fatigue grew, but she refused to give in to exhaustion. She couldn't afford to let her guard down. Every rooftop she crossed, every alley she explored, brought her closer to the safety of her home. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Nicole spotted her street in the distance. Relief flooded her being as she descended from the last rooftop, her trembling legs barely able to carry her. She stumbled towards her front door, fumbling with her keys, praying that she had escaped Nub's clutches for good. As she stepped inside her home, Nicole slammed the door shut, barricading herself from the horrors that lurked outside. She collapsed onto the floor, her body trembling with a mix of exhaustion and adrenaline. She had survived for now. But even in the safety of her own home, Nicole couldn't shake the haunting image of Nub's sinister gaze. She knew that the nightmare was far from over. She would have to find the strength to face her fears head-on, to uncover the truth behind the man who had pursued her through the chaos of that fateful day. As Nicole caught her breath, her mind wandered to the loved ones she had left behind. How many friends and family members were still trapped in the chaos of the city? The realization hit her like a punch to the gut. She couldn't bear the thought of what they might be going through. Her thoughts turned to the scripture she had read countless times, the prophecies that had warned of these dark times. It was as if the events unfolding before her eyes were straight out of those ancient verses. All hell was about to break loose, and Nicole knew she had to prepare herself mentally and emotionally for what lay ahead. As she sat in the safety of her home, Nicole made a silent vow to find her loved ones, to reunite with them and protect them from the impending storm. She would not let fear consume her, but would instead gather strength from the scriptures that had guided her so far. Tune in next Friday for Chapter 4 of The Day After by Prophet Dwayne Omar, as the journey continues and the truth behind the chaos begins to unravel.